Hey, welcome to another math lesson where I try to make math no problema. We'll see how I do today. Today we're going to be talking about substituting to evaluate. If you see something that says evaluate the expression, then I'll be able to show you today how that is. Biggest thing we do is we take numbers and variables, and we replace the variables with the known value now. So when we have a variable, it's often because we don't know the value yet of something. And then if they give us that value, we can then replace that value with the number. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. We know that John is 5 years older than Randy. But if we don't know how old Randy is, then we could write an expression like this, where we use an R to represent Randy. This shows that this would be John's age, because he is 5 years older than Randy. As soon as we find out how old Randy is, so like let's say we know Randy is 7, well then we can replace the variable with the number, and we know that John is 12. And that is exactly what we're doing today. I'm giving you an expression with a variable, an algebraic expression, but I'm also going to give you the value of the variable so you can replace it. So with this expression right here, we have an m that we don't know what it is. But then, right after that, I actually tell you what m is. So what we do is we take that m and we now replace it with the known value. And from here, we're just evaluating the expression, which means we're going to use order of operations like we've done in the past to solve and figure out what it means. So we're going to remember today PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We're going to remember that however we remember it. If you want to remember the kindergartners, the add and subtract comes last, then the 6th grades, multiply and divide comes before them. But if there's any exponents, parentheses, they get to go very, very first. So this parentheses that's happening is going first. That is 6. And we're going to go 4 times 6 divided by 3. Remember, with multiply and divide, it's whoever is first in line. And in this example, it's the multiplication that's first. So I'm going to go 24 divided by 3, and we know that that equals 8. Cool, huh? You just solved your first expression that had a variable. This next one, we have another expression with a y, and we know that y is 4. So we're immediately going to rewrite it, but without the variable, we're going to write a 4 instead. We're going to do parentheses first. Now inside the parentheses, we're going to do exponents before we do that addition. So the exponent is 4 squared, which is 16, plus 2. That's still in parentheses, so we're still going to do that first, which gives us 18. Now we'll go 3 times 18, which is 3, 4, 5, 54. So this, after we have evaluated it, our answer is 54. Do you see how that works? Kind of a fun day. So we can even do that with story problems. If you are saving for a new iPhone or iPad that will cost you $120, you got $25 for your birthday. Let's say you start at $25, and each week you're going to save an extra $9. Let's first write that as an expression that gives the amount of dollars you will have saved after W weeks. Okay, so you start at $25, so you have $25, and each week you're going to save $9. You don't know how many weeks, right? But we do know it'll be $9 each week. You guys have mastered doing those type of expressions in previous lessons. So we have the expression 25 plus 9W. That'll give us how much you have earned after however many weeks you have saved. So the question is now, will you have enough after 8 weeks? So now it's actually telling us weeks is going to be 8 weeks. So we're going to replace that W with an 8. And remember, if these two things are right next to each other, it actually means times. So it's going to be 9 times 8, not 98. That's not what 9W means. When we have a variable and a coefficient together, they're being times together. Remember that today and always. Order of operations says I'm going to multiply first, and then I will add 25 plus 72 is $97. And how much did you need? Ah, that's right. You need 120. Do you have enough after 8 weeks? No, just a few more weeks before you will get the 120 that you are wanting. What if there are two variables? Well, we've got m equals 7 and n equals 5. So we can go 7 times 7. Remember, it's not 77. It's times. Minus 9 times 5. I'm going to make sure we do multiplication first. And then bring down that subtraction, and we get 3. Cool. This next one, let's see if you can do it on your own. So feel free to pause and then push start again when you want to see if you do the exact same thing that I do. So D is 10. And we go 10 squared minus 9. K is 9. So I'm going to go 9 times 9 plus 3. Exponents first. 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100, minus 9 times 9 plus 3. I'm going to now do my multiplication, which is 81. 100 minus 81 plus 3. Now I'm going to do minus and add in order from left to right. 100 minus 81 is 19 plus 3 equals 19, 20, 21, 22. 22. Is that what you did on your own? Very cool. How much wood would I need to make this garden box? I know that the length is 6 feet and the width is 3 feet. I also know that to find the perimeter of a rectangle, I can use this right here, where the P stands for the perimeter, the L stands for length, and the W stands for width. So I can get my answer by taking 2L and adding it to 2W. Did it ever say L equals or W equals? Not like that intentionally, but it does say that the length is 6 and it does say that the width is 3. And isn't that what I'm looking for? L does stand for length. So I'm going to say L is 6 and the width is 3. So now I can rewrite it as 2 times 6 plus 2 times 3. I'll do my multiplication first and get 12 and 6, add those together, and I have just found out that I need 18. I'm not just going to circle it, right? It's a story problem. How much wood would I need? Well, 18, let's make sure I label it. We're measuring it in feet. So 18 feet is how much wood I need. Bob used these steps to evaluate 3m minus 3 divided by 3 for m equals 8. Let's figure out what he did. So 3m minus 3 divided by 3. So 3 times 8, I like what he did there. Minus 3 divided by 3. Okay, so he did the first step correctly. Then he did, I like how we got 24 minus 3 divided by 3. I'm going to follow order of operations and do division before subtraction. So that means it would be 24 minus 1 for the answer of 23. That's where Bob messed up, right? He subtracted when he should have divided first. Basically let the kindergartners in front of the 6th graders, which is not okay. We need to make sure that we still follow the order of operations, which says division comes before subtraction. So make sure you're still following the order of operations in these problems. Okay, that's it. You can now evaluate an algebraic expression by substituting the number with a variable and then making sure you follow the order of operations. All right, let's try this. If I tell you that h equals 3, could you solve this? I'm going to do exponents first, so I get 9 plus 5 divided by 2. Now, let's explain this thing right here. We've talked about how this is really a division sign, right? So another way we could write this is h squared plus 5. I want you to do that, and then divide by 2. So let's do everything on top first, which would be 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. It's 7, I promise. Let me get out of the way. Yes, you see it's 7. Okay? What about, oh, I gotta move myself again. What about this, where h is equal to 5? Could you solve this? 5 minus 3 squared. I'm going to make sure I do everything inside the parentheses first. That will give me 2. And 2 squared equals 4. You got it? All right. On this next page, I've got a whole 4 of them. And I want you to see how you do. I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to show you all the answers, and you can check your work there. All right. How did you do? Did you get them all correct, or can you find and fix your mistake? If you can, you're ready to go on to the other practice that I have for you. Have fun!